Well, I guess today's the day of the head-on-head comparison of the 2547 Galaxy, the Ranger RCI-29. Of course, some people get mad when I point out what the different knobs do, but you know what? On this one, you just have variable talkback. On here, you got talkback and RF power. Right here's your RF power on this one, but on the new 29, you get your echo and time. SWR, mod meter power, that's the same. You got your mic and RF gain, that's the same. Over here, you got your dimmer and your tone control, that's the same. This one here has standard incandescent bulbs, not much range. On the dimmer on this one, these are white LED. That's still the old style display here, which I would have been happier if all of these ended up being the white LED, but you know, dimmer works excellent on this one. And of course, on this one you got your Roger beep and your PA. On this one you got Roger beep 10kc switch. So all these are the same. A&L noise blanker, that's the same. But your clarifier function does a different thing. On a stock 2547, the clarifier is locked from the factory, and all this does when you push this, it makes it to where the clarifier doesn't do anything at all. This one here, the clarifier is unlocked. When you push this, it locks it. You can still use it. Of course, your mode switch, you got 3 modes here. You got 4 here, you know, upper, lower, sideband, AM, and FM. On your 2547, where you have your 919 switch, that's where your band selector comes in. On this one here, squelch and volume's the same. Now clarifier, I've unlocked the clarifier on this one. The clarifier has quite a bit more range than the newer one. So I can get up to 6.3 down to 3.8. 4.5 to 5.6. There's like virtually no slide at all. And that's what keeps this from being an actual 10 meter usable radio, because it tops out at 28.305. You're gonna, well, with 10kc, you're gonna get 315, but you need this to go 28.3 to 28.5, and you need your clarifier to be able to take you down 5kc. So it's pretty much useless for 10 meter sideband. So they are pretty much selling this as an 11 meter radio with 100 watts, which is, I guess, to be expected from Ranger. We're going to go take a look at the differences on the inside here in just a minute, but I want you to point something out. This is a legal factory radio, 4 watts, 1 to 4 watts AM, 12 watts peak on sideband. And if you notice, the meter that it comes with goes from 0 to 18 watt max. Well, this new RCI-29, they advertise it as an 80 watt radio. It's a 100 watt radio, and that goes from 0 to 18. They didn't even bother changing the meter to a 100 watt meter. So I'm going to take a look at the inside here in a minute. Of course, externally, this is an older unit, so it's got battle scars from meters sitting on top of it. But as you can see here, when we get inside is when the real fun begins, the real differences. So let's get these covers off and let me show you where the real meat and potatoes are. Alrighty, it's time for the main event here. Got your Galaxy 2547 on the left, your Ranger RCI-29 on the right. And immediately, you can see some differences here. The 2547 is using a Ranger EPT-0696 board, which is based on the EPT-6900 board, but this is made for 40-channel legal radios. This is the MOSFET version, sporting a driver and a final of our F520 flavor. This one's all surface mount, newer board, EPT 9915Z. And that's like they use in the new N1 or the RCI-29 FFB series. Very stable board. This one's got 4 RT1s in it. So this one produces 100 watts or so. You can push it a little more, but what I found is the internal power supply. On this guy, you got a 2.5 amp, which is fine for this. This, from what I can find, is about 12 to 14 surge. 14 amps, 100 watts. You guys are cutting it kind of close. If you actually crank sideband up over 80 watts, this will reset, the radio will shut down and restart. On AM, it can go over 100, but it's really taxing this power supply. I'll just put it that way. And if you want to run this on external DC, this chassis, being the same as this chassis, still uses the regular 3-pin power cord like your regular CB flavor, and I wouldn't really want to pull over 100 watts from one of those. Would have been better if they went to the 6-pin pigtail or something, you know, like their 150 watt radios. But that's your differences on the inside. And I get this argument all the time, well, my Galaxy is better than your Ranger, and my Connex is better than your Ranger, and my Mirage is better than your Ranger. Just to show you one close time here, Galaxy 2547, Ranger. So your argument's void on that, but I really do like this board. This thing doesn't drift. But the big problem, like I showed in the first part of the clip, this clarifier, it only goes half a kc. You'll never get any slide. This thing's useless for anybody who's out of tune on sideband, or anybody who wants to get zeroed out like 370, 380, or somebody who wants to use it on actual 10-meter use. You don't have enough bands, you don't have enough slide. What's the point? But it's excellent. 11-meter radio, if anybody you're listening to on sideband is not too far out. Or on the other hand, tried and true performer, you got to deal with drift till it warms up. But if you just need a regular 40-channel radio and you roll the clock back 10 or 15 years where this was $300, it's an excellent choice. But what you're looking at these days, this bad boy's $500, this bad boy's about $600. So what are you getting into? For $100 more, what are you getting? You're getting echo, you're getting 100 watts, you're getting FM, and you're getting a few bands to make you more, you know, illegal into free band, but using it for free band with the clarifier this way sucks. So this is really just a 40-channel 100-watt radio in my opinion. I do like it. I've been using it for a week now. It's awesome. It's stable, sounds great, has great audio, has great receive. But I can say the same thing about this. You want to add a few channels, 2 wires, you put switches in between or change how this is wired, but you actually have a little bit of slide on this, and there's modifications for this to get it farther. You don't have echo, you don't have 100 watts, but you know, well, there's other ways to solve that. So what does it really come down to? If you're looking at buying an RCI-29 Base Plus, and you get this for the same price, or you like this because of the smaller size, go for this one. However, your RCI-69 Base Plus has a dual clarifier. The outer knob lets you go 5 up or down. The inner one is fine-tuned, 1 up or down or so. However, the RCI-69 series, they don't have a 10 kc switch. So any serious 10-meter person, if you're a serious 10-meter person, you're serious, buy an ICOM, buy a Yaesu. For this price range, I think Ranger failed it. I mean, I love this radio, but for this, either one of these, for the current price range on these, I can't really recommend one. I mean, I don't know what to say on that, but when you pick up one of these at a good deal that's used, lightly used, in good shape, these are awesome radios. If this was $300 and this was $400, I would recommend these all day long. But when you get these newer Chinese radios like an Anytone Quad 5 for $200 or $260, depending on where you get it, and they put out 60 or 70 watts and it's clean, they don't drift, they have everything you need, I've got this Radiodity QT40, which is based on the Anytone Aries 2. Same deal. The most stable thing you'll ever get. Even slightly more stable than this. I mean, they just won't drift. And you can go anywhere you want channel speaking. Even the clarifier on this, it's automatically 5 up and 5 down. You know, it's... So what are you doing, Ranger? Would this make me give up my RCI-2995 DX radios? Absolutely not. If I already had an RCI-69 or 69 plus, I definitely wouldn't change to this one. But if you got a small space and you're looking for 100 watts, you don't want to have an external amplifier, and you know this fits the bill, you like the way it looks, because I really do like the way it looks, because it kind of looks like a Yaesu or an Icom from the 80s. I mean, but for $600, fellas, I just don't know what to say. You can pick up a used $29.95 for that price, and if you're an actual ham, you put a little jumper on the back of it there, and you'll get 21 to 29,699. So you get use of 15, 12, 11, and 10. They're good AM performers, but they're stable on sideband. They don't drift because they're also a surface mount, just like this. They're an EPT 6950, I think 15B, BZ, something like that, depending on which model you've got. But, if money's no object and you like the size of this and you don't care too much about your sideband, go for this. If money's no object, go get you an ICOM 756 Pro 2 or Pro 3 or 746 Pro, or get you an ICOM 7300, get you a Yaesu FT991, because you're approaching $1,000 territory, but you're not getting $1,000 features. And that's my biggest gripe. If they want to do it this way, why don't they come out with something like a 2995 that works from 160 to 10 meters, that gives you good AM, to where people who want to run 75, 80 meters AM, the old school guys, they would buy it. The new school guys, they would buy it. I mean, and for that price, you're already charging HF prices. So I hate to end this one on a downer, but awesome radio. But also there's just too many stupid little gripes to make it not great for sideband. AM 100 watt radio, awesome, buy it. Other than that, save your money for the next thing. But what I can say, I am happy that Ranger is trying to make something new. But fellas, the pandemic's over. The part shortage on stuff like this is way over. I mean, you can pick up 20 amp Meanwell, that's the brand they use, Meanwell. You can pick up 20 amp Meanwell power supplies for just a few dollars more. These RT1 and RT5 finals, these are just rebranded IRF Z44s, which are like $1 a piece. They just scrape it off and stamp it. I mean, for the cost that they're charging, especially since they're using older chassis, which have been in production for 20 years now, this radio should be $400. This radio should be $300. And if they're at that price range, buy it. At this price range, I'd hold off. Keep saving your money for something else. That's all I got to say about this one. Didn't mean to end it on a downer, but that's all I got for today, fellas. Catch you in the next one.